Welcome to the best of Homes on Homes. We're highlighting the hidden dangers that show up in homes, ones that could put your health and the health of your family at risk. From asbestos, mold, and buried oil tanks to pesky ants and raccoons. You have to get rid of them, but safely. In the industry, it's called an abatement process, but as far as these families are concerned, it's called getting their homes back.
Nice. Awesome. Look at the mess. They got a nest of them. Yeah, baby. If you're going to do it right the first time.
My hero.
It's perfect. On the money.
Thank you, guys.
You like it?
Oh, do I ever.
It's the best of Homes on Homes, and we're showing what we have to do with homes that have become hazardous to our health. Believe it or not, Lisa's story is not uncommon. She bought a house and rented it out to cover the mortgage. She did background checks, and she felt secure she was renting to good people. Then the police called.
I got a phone call from my son, and he said they were using the house for a marijuana grow-up. Mike, hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
It was like something so surreal. I thought, marijuana grow-up? What does that mean? So I turned to my daughter. I said, well, I guess they probably have a few plants in the house, and what's the big deal?
An interesting point is that approximately half a liter of water per day is put into the air per marijuana plant. So that obviously causes huge structural issues and mold issues because it's an excellent growing environment for mold. And in this particular case, there was over 500 plants involved here, times half a liter. There was a lot of water in the air.
I guess they left some behind, eh?
Yes.
Wow. I was basically looking at a greenhouse. Plants, watering systems, hot lights, and no ventilation. All to make those little plants grow a little faster. What else grows fast in those conditions? Mold, everywhere and on everything. The health ramifications were mind-boggling.
This is the master bedroom.
Oh, this is a little sample of what it was like downstairs.
Oh, downstairs was what you see here, but multiply it by about 5-6 times.
Well, look at the mold on the plastic. You see the mold on the plastic?
I hadn't noticed it.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, look at that.
Holy cow. Garden hose in the bathroom. Oh, my God. Oh. I think we've got a lot to fix here. They went up through the attic. I guess they wanted to vent. Oh, I do see some mold. Uh-oh. They were blowing hot, moist air directly into the attic. So the first thing I had to check was how much mold was up there. Oh, my God.
What's wrong?
It's full of mold.
Bad?
Yep. There's a ton of mold on the underside of the sheeting where the shingles are nailed to. Especially around the lower perimeter, like about 6 feet up, right down, right across this way. I have mold spores on the wall behind the baseboard. That's just the surface. We'll be able to get rid of that. There was a lot of mold in all the rooms. So at that point, we brought in the abatement pros to give us a true assessment of what had to be done.
We do a full assessment of the whole house. Air sampling we do at the beginning before we disturb any materials within the home, just to see what the air quality is like. And then we proceed to do an intrusive investigation where we cut a number of holes in the wall cavities and ceilings to determine the extent of mold growth within the house. I take it back to the laboratory, and they will analyze it under the microscope, and they will generate a report, and then we can interpret the findings.
The test results showed that there was a lot of mold spores in the air. What I didn't expect was the asbestos they found in the drywall compound. Well, what does that mean? They got to close the house up for 2 weeks, come in with suits, clear it out, so now we can come in safely and continue to work. Once the remediation team was finished removing the mold and asbestos, we moved to the attic to get rid of the mold there. For that, we used dry ice.
The technology's been around for quite a long time. I had a client who said that they used dry ice blasting to clean the wing mold on the Avro Arrow. But in its current incarnation, it took shape down at Lockheed when they needed a way of cleaning out the tank of the space shuttle because they were going to reuse it. Basically, it's like sandblasting. You propel a granule at high pressure air against a surface to clean it. When we're working with wood, we will be taking a small amount of wood off the surface, but that's desirable for mold because the mold is grown into the wood. We can do in 1 hour, one man working with a dry ice machine can do in 1 hour what a man would normally do by hand in 5 or 6 hours. And all that you will see when you're finished is just a light sprinkling of sawdust on the floor, which then the Alliance group will then come and HEPA-vac and remove that from the premises.
So 5/8 on all 24-inch center, 1/2 inch on 16-inch center, right?
Okay.
So we're using 5/8. 2 screws in each spot. We're 24-inch on center. We're 5/8 drywall. Instead of 1 screw for 8 inches, we want 2 screws. Make it stronger. First estimate, the job, I figured a month, max 6 weeks. And then we sort of opened up a massive can of worms, which is like a lot of the jobs that I work on. By doing that, I have 2 choices. Fix it or walk away. I'm not gonna walk away. We gotta fix it. Each and every day I fix a job, make a homeowner happy, and I learn something new. You know, think about how many bathrooms, kitchens, additions, houses I've actually built. I honestly forget. But it reminds me when I step into something that's different, and that's what I stepped into, something that was different. I think I've been keeping her long enough. 9:30, what do you think? Mold, asbestos, the teams, the environmental, not to mention construction. Sorry, it takes what it takes. Nice to see you again.
So nice to see you.
Want to see your finished house?
I'm dying to see it.
The house of all houses right now? Come on in. In the end, it's beautiful. We did everything, and we did what we were supposed to do. It's a scary thought that when you buy a house as an investment to rent it out, you're looking to make some money. It's a smart move. Real estate you can't lose, right? Or can you?
I love the flooring, and I love the color on the wall.
It is an exotic wood. I really, really like it. It's an engineered wood, so we got some of the best guys installing it. All new electrical, new panel, fixing the plumbing, pulling out rotten studs, pulling out all the mold that was involved with this.
I love it. I love what you've done, and I'm just going to love living here. I was just so fortunate to be able to get a hold of Mike, and his compassion is something that I'll never forget.
Am I blushing? Let me tell you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
In Italian, there's an expression that God closes a door and opens a window, and I think in my case, he opened 2 or 3 windows.
Ihor and Chris did the right thing when hiring a home inspector before they purchased their home. The home inspector, on the other hand, missed making the right call.
Oh my God! It's carpenter ants.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We're showing examples of the hidden dangers in the home that can be real health concerns. Mold is one of the most common reasons for abatement, and its removal is essential. We've done a lot of jobs where problems aren't visible until we start opening things up, but in this case, the mistakes were right in plain view.
All right, you've been here 6 months. Any issues you've noticed? Anything that is standing out that makes you concerned?
Well, after about a minute of showering, you're standing in an ankle deep in water.
The sewer gases that we smell down there are scary, disgusting.
It stinks. There's something wrong. The shower doesn't drain. Well, there's things wrong with it. It's not even close to right. It's against code. Chris and Ehor insisted on a home inspection before they purchased their home. Somehow, the inspector missed and gave it the all clear.
No signs of venting. Carried off, toilet running through, clean out, total improper venting. Not to mention, we don't want to see the plumbing like this. It should be actually cut through the floor. This is not how we tie things in.
There was nothing in the report about the plumbing. The inspector said it was interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 junction points right here. You were told right out that everything was fine. Electrical was fine, plumbing was fine, not an issue, that it wouldn't cost money to fix. Let me guess.
Absolutely, that's exactly what was told to us.
Electrical's fine, plumbing's fine. You gotta be kidding me. I was there 5 minutes and I could see obvious problems. And I've always said, if you can see it right in front of your eyes, imagine what's behind it.
You got some mold, eh? Nice. Look at that.
Smells just getting worse. Is that mold for sure, Dave?
Yeah, that's mold.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that smell is. Okay, this is a surface mold. It's not a huge deal. However, it stinks. I did not honestly expect to see mold underneath the vinyl, but it all makes sense to me now that I see it leaking from the washing machine, leaking from the corner. That just slipped out, so obviously that slowly dripped. The floor is running this way. It got it.
Figuring out if you need to bring in a mold remediation company depends on the size of the area that contains the mold. In this case, the room was small enough that we could do the cleanup ourselves, but we still wanted the homeowners out of the house.
I have a lot of mold that I have to clean up, and I would bring it down to show it, but I'm concerned for your kids. So is there any way is there a place you can go for the night?
Yes, we certainly can.
Because I'm going to be doing not only a major cleanup, but I'm going to be doing a spray over top of it to kill the contaminants. Okay. And reading the directions, it says you shouldn't use it around children until it's dry. Okay. So if I could actually get you to pack up and leave.
That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
You're just using soap and water, right?
Yeah, just soap and water.
If you have a small area of mold, you only want to use soap and water to clean it. Never use bleach, please. The chemicals in bleach are more harmful to you than the mold itself.
We're going to pull up the plastic and we're going to put on our mold spray down on the floor, which is why I wanted the kids more than the reason that anything gone between the spray and the mold.
Right.
Once it dries overnight, we're set.
Okay.
Okay?
Once we had cleaned up the floors and walls, now it was time to get back down to tearing out that basement. We had just started when we made our next discovery.
Yeah. See that, bud? Oh, yeah. Ants. Ooh, my.
A lot. And they're eating right into the wood.
Look at the nest. They got a nest of them.
And behind the paper?
In behind the paper.
Whoa. Look at that.
Wow, they're just gonna love the moisture in that wood.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the nest in there. Just take that right outside.
All right.
As quick as you can.
Okay.
Can you fathom the thought that we come in really just to put in a new bathroom?
Look at that.
Yeah, it's carpenter ants. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. It looks like they're not going to be home for a few days because we're going to have to make a look at the holes.
Wow.
Now, how far are they gone is the question. Hopefully, they just love to stay in this one neighborhood, but they started to work their way up, and that's not a good sign. Oh, they're everywhere. Look at them. Oh, my God. Ah.
Carpenter ants don't eat wood like termites do, but they like to nest in wet or damp wood. But the damage they cause can still be quite extensive. We had to bring in the pros to get rid of them.
We found a mother nest right here yesterday. It was phenomenal. Had to be 1,000, at least 1,000. They came in through the holes like crazy. We got it down quickly, tried to get as much of the ants as we could, and then we sprayed like hell. Once we thought there was none left, sure enough, they jumped out of the hole and committed suicide. Sure. Concern. You know, we have the deck right there. That's what I'm thinking. If they started here, will they get into the deck? And sure enough, we started to gut the other side. And we're now starting to find the ants on the other side. Now, I got a question for you. Carpenter ants normally will stay in an area that's moist with the wood because they have to feed off it, right?
Absolutely. They actually don't feed on the wood. They live in the wood. When you get wet or damaged wood, it's a lot easier for them to nest in, to tunnel, to make damage, as opposed to new studs.
So what they did was they made a home here.
Absolutely.
Okay, unlike termites where they actually will feed through the wood, is that correct?
Yeah, termites will feed on the wood. Or carpenter ants will nest in the wood.
Okay, so far so good. We think we've got this. We know we have more issues over here. Does that possibly mean another nest?
It's very possible. This could be the mother nest here. You may get sometimes in different situations satellite nests where they may move a little further down depending on the situation. Sometimes they outgrow the area and they have to move a little further down. They may go up. Towards the end of the day when you're all done, we'll do a good residual spray. We'll probably, if you found a lot coming out of here and there's already holes here, they may be in the brick as well. So what we'll do is we'll drill some holes and what we'll inject is to kind of help flush them out. If they are in there, more will come out and then we'll know.
Which means the possibility is they could be living right within the whole void.
It's possible, but if you found the nest on this side of the wood, they prefer to be there rather than in the brick because the brick is going to be colder.
Makes sense. Let's have a warm home.
The guys sprayed the entire basement to kill the remaining ants, and we fixed the areas where moisture could get in. On top of the electrical and plumbing issues we found, when I told Chris and Eeyore about the mold and ants, they were blown away.
When we pulled up the vinyl floor, we found your major smell. We had so much mold, this whole floor was nothing but mold. Wow. We found a mega nest of carpenter ants.
Wow.
And I mean a mega nest.
I'm just freaked out. Who would have known? You know, you walk into this house and you look at it and it looked great. And it didn't take Mike long to find all these problems that should have been caught, or at least some of them.
A lot of people simply don't know what's lurking in their basements. I've got a perfect example of how an innocent kitchen reno could have led to a very serious environmental hazard for a guy considered a hero by a lot of people.
You just take a look around here, like it became a horror show.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We've collected highlights from episodes featuring hidden dangers that need to be removed by what are called abatement specialists, the folks who can handle these potentially toxic situations safely. In this case, it took a main floor kitchen reno to lead us to a problem in the basement. Joanne and George have been living in the area for about 10 years. You know George, he's a boxer. He fought Muhammad Ali twice. He went the whole distance. This is George Chavello's house. He dedicates his life after boxing to help those that are addicted to drugs, that are down and out, and he wants to make a difference.
Joanne.
How are you?
George.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you again.
George Chavello is a boxing hero, and he's a guy who gives back helping kids. And what happens? He gets ripped off by a contractor who really didn't know what he was doing. Electrical box right on the counter, built up, live. All the other electrical hanging out, pot lights in the attic that are not properly covered in insulation, all wrong. There's an upper cabinet mounted so high that nobody could even reach it. Cabinet work that doesn't go to the floor like it's supposed to.
We're gonna pull it all out, unfortunately. You may have to eat at the restaurant for a couple of days, but...
We've been doing that anyway.
You've been doing that anyway?
Doing that for 4 months.
Sure.
By pulling it all out, I meant pulling it all out and starting from scratch. The idea was a totally open concept design incorporating the working kitchen with a center island and a small eating area to the right. To create that open concept, we brought in Paralam beams to span the width of the kitchen. While the crew placed those heavy beams, I checked out the basement and I found another problem.
Come on in. When I first came in here, I came down to look at the plumbing, the electrical, and I go, oh, they have an oil tank. And I can see that's almost 3/4 full.
Yeah, on the gauge. See the corrosion starting down here on the end already?
Especially on this
I think
side.
that over there.
Yeah, right there. If the tank has been changed over to a natural gas, it must be at least emptied, and then you have a year to remove it or reuse it for something else.
Recommission, that's correct.
And if your tank is still being used and it's at least 20 years old, you should think about replacing it due to insurance reasons.
The insurance companies are asking the age of tanks now, and to get insurance on your house, they're pushing the issue that we want the tank upgraded to a new tank.
Because of the possible environmental disaster it can cause.
That's correct.
And you know what? That makes total sense to me.
So what's the big deal, right? The basement floor is concrete. If it leaks, you just clean it up. Wrong. First, there's the smell. Once the oil gets into the concrete, it's almost impossible to get it out. So then you're breaking up the floor and hauling it to the landfill and then repouring a new floor. Okay, that's just time and money. But what if the oil leaks through the floor or gets underneath the floor and actually gets to the water table? We have to remove the oil tank, no question. In this case, we were lucky it hadn't leaked anywhere already.
What we'll do, where the fill and vent came in the top of the tank, we'll cut those with a reciprocating saw.
Okay.
Spin the pipe out. We've got a vacuum truck out front, and we'll bring a hose in and literally drain that tank dry. Then we'll cut the side of it out, because there'll be sludges and stuff in the bottom of that tank you really don't want to know about. And we'll vacuum it totally clean, and then we'll quarter it and take it out.
Cut it in pieces.
Cut it in pieces. What we do like to do, though, and always do, is where the film vent go out through the wall, remove them. Because every year, somebody gets a tank or a basement full of oil.
Get the hell out. You're telling me a truck that doesn't know any better
They get the
comes in
wrong
and sticks-
address
Oh my God.
by computer or whatever, and they come over and they fill, and it just goes right in the basement.
Oh my God.
So every year there's one or two of them. So we always remove the fill and vent from the building, so that can't happen.
Can you imagine being in your basement and all of a sudden you see a stream of oil pouring in from the outside? That's a definitely good reason to get rid of that oil tank and the filler tube.
This a nightmare turns into a beautiful dream. It's kind of that way. We dreamt about a beautiful dream, but it turned out to be a nightmare. But in the long run, it ends up a beautiful dream again, and a beautiful reality. That's what it's going to be. Beautiful reality. It will be nice.
That's not good. Not when I can take my finger and do that.
I see condensation on the glass, surface mold. It could have all been prevented with a bit of maintenance. Now it's going to take a lot more. Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. Abatement means getting rid of something. Could be animals, asbestos, mold, even oil from an old tank. All of that mold we find is the result of two things: moisture and organic products. Val and Dave, they bought this house around 10 years ago. Really nice. Bungalow. I love bungalows.
After the deal went through, we started seeing the brick kind of flaking.
And it's falling apart, literally. Like, you're vertical everywhere here.
Every winter since then, I guess because of the snow against it, water being absorbed by these poor bricks, more flakes off until you see the holes.
That's not good. Not when I can take my finger and do that.
I've seen this before where bricks have fallen apart due to weather, and mainly because moisture's getting in the brick. We are cold here in the winter. It freezes, boom. What happens when it freezes? It expands.
We thought we were doing right. We repaired the brick in the front bay windows with the brick we found in the garage. But of course, that was the brick the house was built with in the first place.
They wanted to get new windows in the front. But they can't do that because of the brick. So they put spray foam everywhere, trying to seal to stop any moisture from coming in. But, looking at it, there's other problems. I see condensation on the glass, surface mold. Now, it's pretty obvious that water was getting through the brick sills, then making its way down through the wall into the cavity and giving the mold a place to grow. But that didn't explain the moisture that was all over the inside of the windows. Right away, I was thinking of heating issues or lack of air movement. Question was, why?
Oh, here we are.
Here we are, guys.
As soon as I walked in the house, I knew exactly why. There was stuff piled everywhere. Boxes, bags, clothes, books. Every room of the house was filled with stuff. Here's the problem. There was so much stuff that it covered most of the heat registers and the cold air returns. So there was very little air movement inside that house.
We do see the surface mold has come into your curtains as well. Do you ever open these curtains?
No, I do not.
As soon as I pulled back the drapes, it was mold city. It was even growing on the glass. That's what I call surface mold. Soap and water could clean up the mold on the window, but we needed to eliminate the moisture. There's no point cleaning up the mold until the bigger problems are addressed. Let's drop the brick on both bays right to the bottom. And anywhere else that we have brick repairs, we'll repair that. And anywhere the windows are, I'd like to pull it out and do precast. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is some dampness here. See it? We got a hole here at the bottom of the wood. That goes right through.
I expected way worse than this.
Actually, we got lucky, Mike. 6 months, a year from now, I think we would have been in bad shape here.
The plastic's there, but because of that one hole right there,
Yep.
the water went in like crazy, penetrated, hit the corner all the way down, and then come Mother Nature with carpenter ants, mice. Better than I expected. That's a good sign. But it is moldy, so we gotta lose it.
It turns out the bay window at the other side of the house had the same problem, but the rotting was worse.
All the signs show it that it's gotten in and just rotted it all. So much mice, and not just mice, look at ants galore were in here. So carpenter ants, like everything's lived in here because it's had all the food groups. Oh my God. Oh, now you're gonna find, look at, oh, eggs galore in that. Probably the carpenter ant eggs.
So they would have came back every year.
You can see it's just turned to dust, eh? Powder,
Yeah.
that's just from them just chewing through it, and they'll use that probably as insulation. You know why I want that insulation out? We want to check to make sure that all the floor joists are fine, and also the critters that are living in it, let's get rid of them. The bugs, everything.
The drip is here for underneath, so when the water travels, it drips right off, completely off the brickwork. It doesn't touch the brickwork underneath the window. It has to be leveled across and sloped down this way, as close as possible to 15 degrees.
Fixing the sills and brick would prevent water from coming in from outside, but we still had to solve the moisture problem from inside. We spent days sorting through their stuff just to haul it away, 17 bins in total, just so the house could breathe again. Now, with proper airflow, we can get to the job at hand, replace the windows.
Wood windows. I love wood windows, I really do, but they need maintenance. That means keep the paint up, watch the caulking. What happened? We had a big hole in the window outside. We knew we had to restructure the hole outside. We knew we had surface mold on the inside of the window. So we removed the trim, and what do I see? A hell of a lot more than I want to. Here, look at this. The vapor barrier has actually stopped most of the penetration of the water coming in. We can see that the drywall's not too bad here, a little bit in the corner, but the wood is the problem. I have Brent here to install the windows. So as he pulls out the window, I'll wait for him on that one, pull this out, quickly pull this apart, put in a new top plate, if that's all we have to do, because that one stud appears to be fine. I may just have to put in a new top plate. But it's not just the top plate, is it? It's the drywall, it's the vapor barrier. Put it all back again, put the window in, retrim it, plaster it, prime it, paint it. From a simple window replacement to a lot more work due to not enough maintenance on your windows. Bad sign, people. Remember, this is paper, organic. Mold loves paper, it's the steak. It's the food they need. The two food groups, moisture, inside and out, paper.
With the brick repaired, the air circulation problems fixed, and the rotting frames replaced, we stopped all the sources of moisture. And with that, we fixed the mold issues. The sad part is that all of this could have been avoided with some simple home maintenance. Repairing work after a serious house fire sparked a whole new mess of problems for these homeowners.
You see the footprints, paw prints?
Paw prints here and there.
Did anybody touch this?
No.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We're looking at all kinds of stories where we had to bring in abatement specialists. People to get rid of hidden dangers, whether it's mold, ants, asbestos, you name it. After almost 100 shows, there's a couple of stories that stand out. Like this one, a small house with big problems. Frank and her family had been living in the house for 18 years. Her daughter Daniela was home alone one night when the unthinkable happened.
I heard a noise, went upstairs, and I saw flames coming from underneath the door and got out.
The insurance company gave them a name of a contractor that could repair all the damage.
We were told that if we went with an insurance-approved contractor, that, they would back us up 100%, that, they would be the ones looking after the progress of the house and making sure that things were done in a timely fashion.
By the time I got there, the homeowners had been out of their house for 8 months. The house was nowhere near finished. The contractors, their work was full of problems. We took over the project and dealt with the insurance company directly. The first problem, raccoons had moved in.
We've been looking around. There used to be a hole on the side of the end gable here. Also looking up at the plastic. We can also see that they've dropped through, because the last time I was here, this was not down. I don't know if there's 1, 10, 20.
Take a look and see what's inside. And if there is something in there, we'll try and get it out. And then it's up to you guys, I'm assuming at this point, to make sure that they won't be able to get back in.
Oh, well, let me see the footprints, paw prints.
Paw prints here and there.
Yeah, there's a footprint right there, too. Yeah.
They could be anywhere. There's no way to know exactly where they're going to be.
I think we would have heard them moving. What do you think?
Not necessarily. You'd be surprised how quiet they can be.
Yeah?
You're going to be looking for a lot of footprints. Where the majority of the footprints are, raccoons all have what they call a communal toilet for the most part. Raccoons will go to the bathroom in the same spot. They've had free run of the place for 8 months, so they know it better than you and I do at this point. Well, there's a pile of droppings here, too.
There was only one job I was on before where we had one raccoon, and we were able to do it ourselves. We just scared him out of the attic, closed off the entrance, but this house here being vacant for so long, we thought we'd call these guys in because there could be 10 of them in here. We don't know. Is that their pee?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the guys to start cleaning up. You want to do a thorough? Work your way down. I'm gonna pull down the stuff. Don't sweat. They can live in there easy. All kinds of signs here. I don't know if that's raccoons chewing on that or squirrels. What they've done is they've ripped it apart, squirrels or raccoons, one or the other. So we definitely don't want this. We'll only keep the full pieces. But this just shows they're tearing it apart, trying to make a bed or whatever they're doing with it.
We're not sure why they come and go the way they do, but we've inspected it. And it's not home.
Our sense of smell told us there was a little more abatement to be done, but not from the raccoons. Removing the insulation from the second floor, that's when we could smell the smoke from the fire.
See, it's funny, now that we take everything down, we can smell the smoke, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, right now we're masking off all the items we know we're going to be keeping and want to keep in good shape, and just make sure there's no obstacles.
Do you have to spray the brick, or you're just mainly concentrating on?
We're going to spray the entire top floor here, yeah,
okay,
including floor.
You don't want to start the repair if you or the homeowner still smell smoke. And you have to be careful that it's a reality and not a perception, because some people walk into their house, they see the damage, which is a shock, they smell smoke, and they have this association with smoke and damage. They go back into the house after everything's ready in preparation for repair, and they still have this sense of smoke. It's a psychological factor, and we have to deal with it. Sense of smell is telling me I would continue to seal more here. You've gone this far and you're making this dramatic renovation, plus you've got the other additional element with the raccoon. So that will also help the situation.
We had barely finished sealing the smell on the second floor when we found a serious problem in the basement.
I think this is asbestos. Did anybody touch this?
No. No.
We're gonna pull all this down, but I don't even want to touch this until we find out if that's asbestos coating.
I think it is.
So do I. We're gonna have to call in our asbestos team.
For such a little house, the problems were one after the other, each one bigger and worse than the last. As our abatement team began the massive job of setting up to remove the asbestos, little did we know that wasn't the last thing we'd find wrong.
This could escalate into multi-thousands of dollars here.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. Abatement teams are the guys you bring in to remove anything toxic, dangerous, or even furry. In this case, we came in to finish a reno after a house fire and had to get out the raccoons, the smoke damage, and remove asbestos. In general, asbestos isn't dangerous unless it's disturbed and the fibers become airborne. In Frank and Daniela's house, no question, it was coming out.
It's a war zone.
Is this the walkout structure?
Yeah.
So we're in the dirty room. We go through the shower. Once you're through the shower, you're in the clean area.
Yeah.
This is not a small
This is the biggest
job.
part of this job is setup. The removal is only going to take us about an hour, so they'll be done.
Wow, you guys don't mess around. When I came in here and we took everything down, believe me, this place was a mess. We pulled 2 bins out of the basement alone. And the first thing I saw was this, and I knew it was asbestos. That's why I called you in. Is type 3 the worst?
Type 3 is worse. Basically, what we're doing right now.
This is type 3.
Because this is over so many square feet, right? After so many square feet, you got to set up a type 3.
Okay, so now that we're at a type 3, obviously this is too much, must be totally wrapped. Now you're going to put in the air unit, which I see right here, the negative air, right? And what that's going to do is pull out all contaminants, throw it outside, and then keep the inside clean. As you take it down, you'll bag it, make it airtight, right? That way it can go out.
We soak down asbestos when we do a type 3.
Okay.
We soak it down.
With water?
Yeah, with water, Water, dilute water.
What that does is help keep everything from flowing through the air. Okay, that makes total sense. And the idea is to tent this right off, that we work our way upstairs into the shower unit, which you clean yourself off and get rid of all contaminants. All right, so not recommended for your average homeowner.
No.
As long as you don't touch asbestos, it's not a danger. But as soon as you play with it, move it, break it, it now releases fibers into the air that are extremely dangerous for you to breathe. What these guys are doing is using a mixture of water and glue, and the idea is to knock down the fibers onto the floor, the fibers, the particles. We don't want it floating through the air. So this grabs it, holds it, easier to clean up. Okay, Marky.
Hey, Mike.
We got a sample. We're ready to test this out.
Got a sample. I'm gonna set it up, look at it through the microscope.
This is absolutely regular. Each and every time you have a crew come in to do a test, we'll have an outside crew, someone totally independent, to test to make sure it's safe.
Yeah. Testing the air quality within the site. Make sure it's matches what you guys are breathing out here. And then it would be safe for everyone to go inside. Used to be 360 liters to clear of air I'd have to collect to analyze. As of November 1st, it's become 2,400 liters.
So that's 7-8 times the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. The other new thing is forced air. So I take a leaf blower, blow
And
all the
purposely
surfaces.
move it.
Yeah, move all. If there's any fibers that are loose, it becomes airborne. Because of the size of the Type 3 enclosure, I had to take 3 samples, all of which have to pass. We'll find hair fibers, skin sometimes. It sucks up whatever's in the air. I've just taken a quarter of this, so if something happens while I'm mounting it, I've got another 3/4 to work with.
Very good.
I can't see through the filter, so I've got to blast it with vaporized acetone. The filter will go clear.
Oh, look at that.
I'll count every fiber that I see in 100 fields. I've got to look at 100 different fields and count the fibers in there. And not necessarily are they asbestos, but we are on the side of caution. So now I'm just looking for fibers. I move the slide itself around. And I think you're good.
What have you marked?
I've got 2 fibers. 2 fibers in 2,400 liters.
Can I see through this?
Sure.
Just to take a look, just out of curiosity. Oh, that is wild. If you can believe it, we finished the asbestos abatement and discovered another problem. There was an oil tank buried in the backyard. Surprise. We have got a world of hell today. We've got the TSSA in to help oversee removal of this oil tank, which now we have the company coming in. They're going to test to see what is in here, if the ground is contaminated, and I'm just finding out all kinds of stuff on contamination and what they have to do it. The problem with oil tanks buried in the ground is we don't know where they are. We don't know if they're rusted out. We don't even know if they've leaked and possibly into the water table. 1 liter of oil can contaminate 100,000 liters of water, and this can be extremely expensive to remediate. Let's just say it has contaminated the property. How can we determine a cost on the cleanup?
Well, the level of cleanup required now comes under the environmental guys who are involved. They come and determine how far it has leached into the ground, how far down it's gone into the ground, and what's involved with the terrain around it.
This could escalate into multi-thousands of dollars here.
Can you tell anything just by looking at it? Like, what am I seeing there in the slight beige brown there? What is that?
That's water.
That's water.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign?
It could have come in from the fill pipe.
Okay.
And over time, it's just the venting of the tank. You get warm air moving in and out, and cold air, and it condenses, and moisture forms.
It'll condensate inside.
Yeah, drips down, sits on the bottom.
A small hole in the bottom.
Well, it's a hole that's failed in the tank. So it's really led to the release of a lot of this product here. And it's gotten into the soil. You can see the stained soil down there.
This is not a good sign. We can see this appears to be oil, am I right?
Yep.
This is a worry for me that how far has it gone? What is it contaminated? Has it gotten into the water? Has it gotten into the neighbors? Do we have to remove that deck? Do we have to dig up the driveway? How far has it gone this way? That makes me worry. Most definitely. To find out, we had to take core samples of the earth, drilling down at various locations and depths in the backyard.
So we're going to be doing one in the driveway, one farther down, one on that side, but also one through the center of where the tank was.
Okay.
Because that's going to be the point of highest concentration. We want to run down one at the depth. And we're going to put a well in there as well.
We're going to put a well in?
Yeah.
Meaning?
To monitor for groundwater, see if it's gone down into the groundwater.
Okay.
This is the gray material that we were running across earlier.
Okay, right at the bottom?
Yeah. You can smell the odors in that.
Definitely.
Yeah. We'll be selecting samples out of these for analysis. So we can get the chemistry on it, know what the numbers are, and that'll help us to determine what how large a scope we're dealing with here.
It took about a week before the environmental guys finally showed up with the test results.
The previous results indicated that we clean here and against the house and the other samples that we'd taken earlier. And the sample that we took at 12 feet, there was a bit of detectable petroleum, but it was within the allowable limits.
Okay.
So we know we're clean at that level.
So since we know it's only in this area, and I'm really happy about that, we only have to dig out and get rid of the contaminated soil.
That's right.
That last story was an unbelievable example of how dangers can lurk without you even knowing. It's a reminder that some problems can get bigger, whether it's moisture, a few ants, or poor maintenance. If your house isn't healthy, you might not be healthy.
Who would he be? Bud, the pot-smoking pig. Pinky will love this.
She likes pink.
I know, but
That's it. She doesn't like stinky pinky. To the Holmes team. Hi, and welcome to the Best of Homes on Homes. We're about to see a collection of the scariest basement stories ever. Being the easiest place to grab more space, basements are a common reno and the most commonly screwed up. Housing the engine for the whole house, it's where all the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC starts. So here's the best of the worst in basement renos and what we had to do to fix them. Nice. Awesome. Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Yeah, baby. If you're going to do it right the first time.
My hero.
It's perfect. On the money.
Thank you, guys.
You like it?
Oh, do I ever?
The internet has become a great resource for finding anything you want or need. So if you want to have your basement finished, why not find a reputable contractor online? That's what Bruce and Diane thought they did. Diane.
Hi, Mike.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
It's
again.
cold out there.
Yeah,
Bruce,
hey, Mike.
nice to see you.
See you too.
Bruce and Diane had a basement they wanted to finish and use. The idea was to design it around the entertainment system. They could enjoy the movies with the kids, and Bruce could have his buddies over to watch the ball game. Bruce was confident he'd found the contractor for the job, but went online to be reassured.
The website showed fantastic photographs of like 15 years of service.
Claims to be the best basement finisher. That's what his business is, finishing basements. However, he doesn't do the work anymore. His idea is to charge contractors across the country a monthly fee to be part of the system that when they get hired by this well-known company, supposedly, they've got business.
And I made a call, and sure enough, within 48 hours, I had a guy here.
What he's done is he's created a web base right across the country of hiring subcontractors that he doesn't know. And they said to the contractor, we want a basement like Mike Holmes does. Contractor says, don't worry, we work for him. I don't know this guy. I don't know any one of them. I have a list of guys that I use. They're not on it. This is finger joint strapping is what this is.
Uh-huh.
This is actually very dangerous to be under. I can see you're holding it up with 2 pieces of wood.
Yeah, the whole thing has fallen off.
It's already fallen.
If I remove this post here, you can see how the whole thing was just supported by a couple of screws up there.
Let's just take this down, okay?
I came down to talk to the guys that were mudding and taping. They were the ones that told us that this bulkhead had fallen on them. And he knew about the kids, and that's when he said to me, could you imagine if this had fallen on your kids?
This is totally unsafe. $25,000 worth of crap.
The 2 guys that came to mud and tape said, you know, they started looking around and said, this is the second job that they had worked with the general contractor on, and the work was shoddy. And they walked me around before my husband even came home and started saying, here's all the problems.
So they moved a steel post from here to here.
And you can actually see here, they just cut it off on the floor.
It's right at the point of the tie-in. So they moved it over here to help pick up the load, square channel to help displace the load.
What they ended up doing is they just actually recycled the post.
You know, it scares me, the things that these contractors do. They take a steel post that has been set in concrete at its required location determined by the structural engineers. It's a new house, by the way. And what do? They cut it. I mean, they cut it. And they move it 2 feet over to where they want it. No footings, no problem. Just stand it there to support a steel beam.
I came in and I said, well, what are you doing? You know, are you not going to structurally support it anymore? And he said, oh, we jumped up and down on it. And yeah, we performed the jump test. And there was no movement whatsoever downstairs.
After checking all this out, I brought in my level and I checked the whole basement, and you are dropped 1/2 an inch at this point. And that steel I-beam, when it was put in, is perfectly true. So what they did was weaken the load, and this bent this and dropped 1/2 inch. So I have 2 jobs now. First, I have to undo all the stupid stuff the contractor did. Second, I have to give them what they've already paid for, but still don't have: a finished basement. That's cute. Aww. The kids left me a note. You gotta love it. That's a milk bag. That's how they close off the return air there. How much?
Under 10.
Under 10. Over 25,000.
What?
That's what they charge. For what?
For what?
That's what I said.
A little bad reception in this house. Yeah, just a screw through it.
And you know what's cute about that is that's the new cable line that runs to the TV, like it's gonna work.
The TV?
Oh, the TV doesn't work.
How were they were gonna move the steel beam? Those are the engineering drawings.
We had to put the support post back to where it was originally. You just can't move a support post without having an engineer come in and make sure the main structure of the house is supported properly. It's a cutoff, so they just cemented around it to hold it in.
Is that right?
Yeah, you'll soon loosen that. Okay. Well, or free, like that was holding a lot. Now she's back to normal. Imagine that, all that work just to put it back the way it was. That basement was a prime example of why you have to check out your contractor. Find out who is doing the work, get the references, and go look at the other renos he's done. This was about a $25,000 basement that's probably gonna cost $40,000 to fix.
That wires.
We're gonna have the TV on the wall right here. If you notice, we continued our bulkhead, and a very strong bulkhead, may I say. We continued that bulkhead right across here to covering all the ductwork pipes, allow me to run wires, possibly in the future, if necessary, up through the bulkhead. I'm coming with a case of beer tomorrow. The homeowners did hire someone off the internet, and what happened? It's all wrong, it's ridiculous, and we had to come in and fix it.
Oh my gosh.
This is not our house. Unbelievable.
Now, I know you see what's at the end there, but we're gonna have to try and ignore that for a minute.
Oh, yeah,
okay? We'll do a little bit talking about what
Sorry, are you talking to me? We trusted the guy, and yeah, and then when it all went to hell in a handbasket, you realize, you know, I don't have any leverage anymore. You know, he's got money, and I can't fire him now because then I've lost all that money, and that's what ultimately happened in the end. And I should have stopped it long before.
That's the biggest TV I think I've seen.
That's a 50-inch. Oh my God. What I'm gonna do is give you just a little bit of taste of this.
I can feel my circle of friends growing as I stand here.
I've made this area your office. You really made it clear to me that you wanted to be able to see the kids, so I thought if they're down here playing with the TV.
Yeah, not to do with the rest of it any injustice, but I'm just trying to take in the space. It's just unreal.
For a second-story addition, you work your way up from the basement. Homeowners Alex and Marie learned this the hard way after hiring someone they knew. We're gonna have major structure fixing across the center of this house. We're gonna be raising your floor in the basement.
It's just mind-boggling how somebody could be so bad and not realize it.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We're featuring basement reno stories. In this next story, the basement had to be addressed as a support system for the entire house. Alex and Marie wanted a second-story addition to the back of their house. The budget was just about $100,000, a fair price for a job this size. That number ballooned to $170,000, and what should have been a 12-week project turned into a year-and-a-half nightmare.
We were very excited about this place. It was supposed to be our dream house. As the renovations went on, we were happy, but we started to have a few concerns at how long it was taking. But every time we'd call the contractor, there was always an excuse and always an explanation.
Beautiful day.
When we finally moved in, we frankly couldn't unpack because there wasn't a single room in the house that was finished where we can actually put our furniture into.
And we do feel trapped, like we can't do anything.
I see we have an addition.
Yes.
A friend of the family is a contractor. He's done work within the family. So I guess he's a trusted person by the family. So we're seeing that the kitchen is slightly finished. This cabinet is right on level, very high on the right-hand side. Wow. Based on what I saw in the kitchen, I went downstairs right away and I looked at the structure. Well, you can see the dip on this beam, and that is heavy. And this is where it humps. Well, this will show you why, because it's just pushed right up at this point. Most older homes sag right in the middle of the house. This contractor should have jacked up the support beam to true up the floor before any of the finishing was done. But that turned out to be only the beginning of the problem in the basement. Well, the plumbing looks like a spaghetti factory. Right from the beginning, I see that this line is lower here. The idea is this should be up higher to raise the water down that way. I put my money in. If I cut this pipe right now, we're gonna find a whole bunch of things we don't want to see in there. One issue, two issue immediately. The floor has been compromised by cutting this out and running the new plumbing line. I see over there, and I don't even want to go over there, but let's take a look. This is not how we put a door in. We do not bring it up to the floor joist. We actually bring it down to the base. This should have been filled with concrete or some sort of concrete curb. Is this supposed to be temporary?
No, this is going to be the basement door.
That's supposed to be there.
Okay. I took a look outside, and there was a big hole where the basement steps were supposed to be. These should have been done when they did the foundation. Besides all the issues upstairs, the basement was quite a mess. The first thing we had to tackle was the plumbing. Once that was done, we could move on to the structure. You do what you have to do with this plumbing, and we're gonna raise this floor.
All new plumbing in the basement, right up through the kitchen, all new plumbing in the kitchen, all new plumbing in the bathrooms. It has to be done. If I was an inspector, I would not pass that. It doesn't pass. That's all raw sewage. See the water flowing already? It's all flowing down this way. I'm just very upset at this guy right now. Good.
Okay, let's go, guys. Let's get the gravel in. Let's go. Let's go.
Got 2 guys shoveling, 2 guys moving, 3 guys downstairs pulling. We put it in the buckets, slide it down. Assembly line, we'll have that stone moved in probably 20 minutes.
I never want to see rock skin in my life.
Now that's what I call a footing. This was a temporary support to get the beam in so we could do the footing. This is now gonna carry the load. I've already made it tight, which made this one nice and loose. So now I'll pull that one. Gotta go up more. Okay, Mike, your turn. That's it. We have leveled it. Yeah. Now, who said this was going to be easy? We got to bring in a police officer to block off the street and control traffic, turn this truck around. This is no small job. The basement work was almost done, but we still had to deal with the exterior door and the non-existent stairs outside. Johnny.
Morning, Mike. How are you?
Nice to see you again.
You too.
Look at this. This is just a little depressing.
I can imagine.
I don't know why they didn't form the stairs in the first place. There's no type S. You can tell they just sprayed the liquid foundation coating over it.
What we have to do is get right down to floor level on the inside so that we can reset all this weeping tile and bring it all over to here. Gravel on it, patch the wall, drainage board, backfill. Yeah, no paraching. It's so not necessary these days, you know. The industry has really stepped up with product development. People want to use the basements. It's part of the house these days.
This job was only in a small part fixing stuff the contractor did wrong. Mostly, it was a lot of things the contractor failed to do. The worst part is that Marie and Alex had to live through that whole nightmare. But finally, it was all done and they could move back home. I actually chose to start in the backyard for a very valid reason.
I'll shoot it.
From the outside, we had to dig up the whole foundation, completely do a proper waterproofing. And Joe Umbrello, a wonderful man, he came in and he did the concrete here and also inside. We rose this whole floor 4 inches higher than the existing pad over there. We had to pour 3 new footings, one in this place, this location, that location. We had to go down 2 feet in the ground at this point. Because you remember how bad this was, didn't you?
That was just all...
We had 4 different levels of flooring in this basement.
You have a proper floor drain, you have 100% new plumbing. You must check out your contractor. You must. You must make sure they're licensed, insured, and know what they're doing and have been in the business for years. You must make sure you follow through with everything that's supposed to be done.
Seeing people actually enjoy what they're doing and what they did in a month, I feel sorry that the team had to do so much work for the faults of one man.
Wow. Unbelievable. So we know that getting several quotes from a variety of contractors is the first step toward a successful renovation. But taking the lowest bidder, that is not the next step. But if you need proof, I'll show you what a bargain basement renovation looks like.
We just knew from what we saw on the outside that looked
absolutely horrible that what was going to be underneath was probably going to be worse.
You see it wrong in front of you, it's definitely wrong underneath it.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We're featuring basement renovations which too often become wrecked because too many people think it's the place to spend less. No renovation should be done on the cheap. It's dangerous. Tom and Rebecca had a baby on the way, and they wanted to get the basement finished so there'd be more room when their child arrived. They got about 5 to 6 quotes and settled on a contractor that put everything in writing. He also gave them a 1-year guarantee. The cost was about $15,000. Bargain, right? Wrong. Everything I saw in that basement was done wrong.
This contractor we ended up choosing stood out for us because he seemed quite professional. He put it in writing.
His quote was very detailed, and he gave us a guarantee.
And he returned our calls, and he seemed to have no problem answering questions. So he really seemed to stand out as the most professional.
I understand it, but they've got to check them out. If they don't check them out, they're just pulling at straws.
That's a fine door installed over there.
Half of the doors here are used, and you can notice here that the doorknobs are actually bent in. So
And these are the ones we upgraded to pay for.
Well, it swings in.
It swings both ways, actually.
With the price being so low, it doesn't surprise me to see used doors, used door handles, and totally installed incorrectly. They're never gonna work, they're gonna fall off, they're jams. But they're paying for a new basement with used products.
I let the door go and it moves on its own. That means the door's hung on level.
Visually, I'm used to going into seeing jobs that are not that bad. This one here, right from the beginning, I can tell that we're taking it all down and doing it again.
Very nice.
So we see someone in here that's been in the business for years, but no new common sense. I love my axe. No new techniques. Whole lot of hiding things, though. Once the basement was gutted, we had a clean slate and we could finish it any way we wanted. Just because the plumbing was in one area doesn't mean we can't move it somewhere else. The trick is to think outside of the box.
We now incorporate all this open concept as the room and the bathroom's at the end. We only have to come through the floor here, bring all our plumbing at the end back here. Right?
Okay, so you want the toilet over here.
Well, you have 2 choices. You come off this wall with the toilet, or you come off this wall with the toilet. Surprise me, either way.
All right. No toilet at all. They're not getting a toilet. Surprise!
The idea behind this is to show the best possible way of insulating a basement. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay 1-inch foam, not styrofoam, but foam on the floor. We are going to caulk every joint, we're going to tuck tape every joint, we're going to leave a 1/4-inch expansion around the room, and then we are going to spray foam that expansion. When we spray foam that expansion, we're going to put up our wall, which is 2-inch foam. It is lap joints, so they overlap each other. So the whole idea is that the whole outside wall and the floor will have foam on it. So it stops anything to do with moisture buildup.
We'll put the 300 dabs on the wall, stick up our piece, make sure we have that little bit in the corner. Later, we'll spray foam it, but we definitely want to spray foam this area now, because we're going to come right up to the floor joists.
Just to give you an example of how we get moisture in our walls, based on a theory of using a batt insulation with a 6mm vapor barrier, if you have one pinhole in that plastic, that pinhole can fill a cup of water in a season. If you're going to make it airtight, you better make it airtight. Now we're going to use a house wrap tape on every single joint, including the inside corners. Even though we have a spray sealant, even though we have caulking, it's a double protection. We must think about, like the outside of our foundation wall, a single layer of foundation coating is not enough. A secondary membrane is always better. We're going to put down 5/8 tongue and groove plywood, and we're going to tap it to the floor. We have a thermal break on the floor, which really helps insulation. Okay, so in other words, It'll stop the pool from coming through. It's probably a third more in insulation cost, but when you look at the long run and what you get out of it, you're going to get your money back plus in the next 10 years. Don't think about money. Think about spending money the right way. The drywall is honestly paperless. It's a different type of product on the outside and on the inside, and because there's nothing in this type of drywall that mold will feed off of, this is why we want to use it, especially in a basement. We should always think ahead. How many times do I go into a basement, we have mold galore? Because mold will feed off of paper, any live product. Good job.
Thank you.
Don't skimp on basements. Hire the contractor you know can do a good job because you've seen his other work. Pay the money that it takes to get the renovation you deserve.
Oh my God. I'm stunned.
Wow, this is great.
So we're no longer cramped in this area with 4 doors.
This
This is what opens it up, and it's the way it should be when you come down the stairs.
This looks great. Oh.
What's behind door number 1?
My God.
Wow. Oh, this looks amazing.
This is your office. Looks pretty good.
This actually looks so much bigger than it did before.
Yeah, this looks huge.
Yeah.
Everything here was wrong. And the worst part was, it was right in front of your eyes on the finishing. It was that bad. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to open it.
Good for you.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh, this is awesome.
Wow.
This is awesome.
This is the nicest bathroom in our house. If the other guy's job had looked a quarter as nice of this, I would have been happy. This is amazing. Just amazing.
We were expecting something great, and it was
This-
even better than we could have thought, really.
I can't even believe it. I've never seen a basement like this. It's perfect. It's just, you look around, everything is perfection.
Thank you very much.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much.
My absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Oh, I think, well, yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Thanks very much.
Ihor and Chris bought a house with a finished basement, or so it seemed at first glance. The problem was, whoever did the work in the basement didn't have a clue on how to do it properly. In one room, we have plumbing problems, which led to electrical problems. 18 junction points in electrical. All the plumbing's wrong. And we just started.
Basements are scary places.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes, the basement episode. Basements are a great way to have extra space in the house. TV room, bathroom, office, guest room. Good contractors make the best use of space when they renovate. Bad contractors, well, they usually just do about everything wrong and make more work for the rest of us. I've seen a lot of really bad basement jobs over the past 30 years, but this story is hands down still the worst I've ever seen. It's something I always say to people. If you're gonna buy a home, I don't care if it's brand new, used, get a home inspector. Have it inspected. Make sure that there's no problems with the home. Chris and Ihor did just that.
The house looked good. Inspector didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
We thought, wow, the guy really, you know, this is a great house. Nothing was really wrong with it, right?
Okay, we've had some people in your house playing around. In the furnace room, right in the ceiling, there were 7 junction boxes. In the closet, there was a light wired with a lamp cord. Whoever did the drywall didn't even tape the seams. You know, if the inspector had done his job, he would have spotted these problems because it was right in front of his eyes. No tape in the corners, okay? We see that, it's right there, there's no tape. Somebody threw up the drywall over top, plastered the hell out of it, painted it, and called it a finished basement. My next thought is, what's behind the walls? What other shortcuts have been taken? How's the wiring, the plumbing? I knew right then, that's when we were taking this basement apart piece by piece. I got a bad feeling we're gonna get this whole basement. We found plumbing in the wall that I'm surprised there was no screws put through. Even the telephone line had a nail through it. Lovely day.
You want to tell me the bad news now? Are we going all the way with this?
Yeah. We're gonna have to get rid of the TV, the couch, all the stuff, get it out of here. We got the whole thing.
Homes like this are a perfect way for my crew to learn. They see what is wrong, but they also see how to do it right. It's great because it gave me the chance to let Damon design his very first basement.
And in 1 hour, I want you to design this basement on paper for me.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Bathroom.
Yeah?
Total. Laundry room. Rec room. Usable space. Show me what you can do.
Done. This is a very nerve-wracking thing to do. For him to actually let me do this was very nerve-wracking to begin with, and I just hope he likes it.
Giving him the opportunity to design this himself helps me teach him on how to think ahead. That's the whole point in this business is I have to think 10 steps ahead.
I'm out of here, boys. Good luck.
59 minutes. It's helping him understand how I see things. And it really, in the long run, it teaches him. 58 minutes.
Now, this was a little bit tough because of where the stair layout is according to these pillars, so I had to really sort of think about this.
Okay, we have 2 pillars.
Right.
I don't want the pillars to stand out, so we should incorporate them into a wall space. I agree with your closet.
Right.
No access on this side, strictly here. So what you're trying to do is create open concept,
Exactly.
right? So why not put the bathroom over here?
Okay.
If that wall goes across here, and our laundry room is there, and our bathroom is here, we're away from the panel. We feed 2 purposes, bathroom, laundry room, so drainage comes right in across here and ties in. So I need you to redraw this. I want you to bring the wall across here and hiding this column within the wall, bringing it down, give me a door to the furnace room and the laundry room.
Just big open space right in here.
You got it, man.
Nice.
We dug up the old clay tiles that were underneath the concrete floor because they were clogged with tree roots.
All right, I'm coming.
And believe me, the last thing you want to do is finish the basement and then fix the plumbing underneath. That basement was a ton of work. New electrical, new plumbing, and of course, properly taped drywall. The home inspector should have seen the signs. And if he had, Chris and Eeyore would not have bought this house thinking they had a finished basement. We know we need and want a home inspection on all the homes we buy because we're looking for a professional opinion to state, is the home good enough to buy? Is there any problems with it? The whole point to it or idea is that you have something to negotiate with for buying power.
Is this the same basement?
No.
No, my goodness.
This is incredible.
This is the bathroom.
Yeah, this is where
this was your bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, we totally changed the design.
We did over $100,000 worth of work. That could have been negotiating power to the homeowner.
Wonderful.
Put in the tub, awesome.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Great. Very nice.
Very nice.
Now I don't think you're gonna smell anything like bad fumes or anything like that. And you know what? It actually drains.
Yay.
We've given you everything we could give you that we should give you if it was my home without taking it down and building a new one.
Incredible.
We're never moving.
No.
Unless Mike starts building homes.
Yeah, and then we'll buy one of those.
Then we'll buy one of his.
Your home should always be the one place you feel safe and on solid ground. So you can imagine how shaky Allison and Jim felt when I told them the foundation of their century home had been seriously compromised. Because he dug this trench, this earth can fall in, your foundation walls can come in, and your house can come down. Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. We're looking at all the problems we found in basements. As the anchor of the house, it's essential any renovations touching the basement be done right the first time. Jim and Allison bought an old farmhouse built in the late 1800s. Not long after they moved in, Allison gave birth to triplets, one of them, Annie. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. By the time she was 8, her parents decided to put an addition on the house so that Annie could live on the main floor.
I was really happy with how things were going. Very happy, very excited that we were finally going to get the house for Annie that we wanted.
Good morning.
How are you?
How you doing today?
Good.
How you doing?
Good to
Nice to
see
see
you
you,
again.
Jim. Allison.
Things started out well. Work on the addition continued at a steady pace. But when they moved inside to tie the new work into the old, that's where everything ground to a halt.
They weren't coming out very much, and when they did come out, it just didn't seem like there was a lot of work being done.
Eventually, the contractor stopped even showing up, and the job remained unfinished. When I got there, I found a whole lot of problems in the old basement.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the old crawl space.
You already have some earth falling down there.
To do this addition, the contractor had to take off one end of the house, including the stone foundation wall, and then tie in with the new addition. What he didn't do was fix underneath. He drove in with a tractor, creating that path, and actually didn't hold it back. So over time, that dirt will all crumble, and the foundation wall from behind it will become very weak, and eventually it'll collapse in. I brought in my foundation guy, and we discovered even more problems.
You know what? This looks awful curious because I don't think they're allowed to do this. This house was built right on Earth. Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, give me a break. You tell me Inspector seen this?
Yeah, it looks like they've cut out a big portion of that wall there. Right?
Oh, this is not good.
This whole corner structure of this house has been undermined. Here, this would have been the original level of the stone rubble foundation right the way around. And what happens, like I was saying, what happens, it just keeps drying out. And it becomes more it just becomes finer and finer and finer.
We've got a major issue here. Everything just sitting on one stone. This is making me sick. Oh my God, this is a total trouble, and a whole lot of it. So they put up 2 2x8s, laminated as a beam across this area, and held it up with vertical 4x4s. Yeah, just put a piece of plastic around it so it's not touching concrete. It's not even anchored. You gotta love this.
The foundation was just a disaster waiting to happen. When I explained the situation to Jim and Allison, they were floored.
You see this here?
Yeah.
This is your old foundation. So as they came in, this is the new guy, as he came in and dug this trench, he's now compromised the structure here. Not to mention here, the whole thing.
I'm shocked by actually seeing what was in that hole. Because actually, when you look at it, you can see that the house isn't supported very well.
You see the outside foundation there?
Oh, yeah.
This will continue to fall. We have to pour and support all this so it doesn't fall in. This is extremely dangerous, right here. Let's go in here.
I'm shocked by how many people, like I said to Mike, have been through the house and have never said anything to us. Like, not one mention that perhaps you should fix this.
Right now, these floor joists are being held by nothing. This is, again, your major weight load. The only thing that is holding this side of the house is the small 4x4 that runs across as your top plate of the foundation wall.
Nobody said anything. I find that mind-boggling.
Can we take our cinder block right up to this point? Or even up maybe one more?
Yep.
And then pour concrete on top of this?
Yep.
Drive it in? Bring it over to that wall?
Yep. Actually, that would make it very, very strong. Have 2 90-degree corners there, Mike. This outside corner and that inside corner. Like, I think we get all of this lowered down to about here, Mike. Like I said, about 30 inches from the bottom of this joist.
So we should get an assembly line and just start
That's
digging?
what we'll do, yep.
Approximately 2,500 pails of dirt later, the blocks were laid and the benching system looked great.
This is perfect. Just
Kind of excited about it myself. They're going to have some nice space down here that they can use.
I'm really impressed.
Beautiful.
Take one thing off our plates is fantastic. I'm telling you, it's fantastic not to have to, worry at night, how are we going to get all this stuff done that needs to be done? And why wasn't it done in the first place?
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
I just hope you feel better. You don't worry about anything anymore, okay? And if you need anything, call me.
Imagine, a year after Lisa and Simon's basement reno began, it wasn't even close to done. They had already paid the contractor over $25,000, and to add to the stress, now there was a baby on the way.
1 year to build, an hour to take down. We want to be able to get on with our lives and live normally.
Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes and the best of the worst basement renos. Everyone's got a wish list for the basement, a pool table, a sauna, a better design, but the most common reason is to add a room for a growing family. Simon and Lisa planned way ahead. We're gonna have a baby down the road. Let's finish the basement. Have everything done when the baby comes. It's a real windy day today.
We were at the home show. We came across this company. They seemed to have all the right credentials. They were very good at talking the job up and what they'd done, and they'd been in the business a long time.
The local home show is where a lot of people go to shop for a contractor. And it's really hard not to resist a big company who makes big promises and says what every homeowner wants to hear.
Hello,
Mike.
Simon.
Come on
Lisa,
in.
a pleasure to meet you.
They said 4 to 6 weeks was what it was going to take to do the project, and that they would start approximately mid-May.
A year later, from starting the job, what do we have done? We have rough-in, carpentry, studded walls. We have electrical, rough-in. We have plumbing, rough-in. No finished basement, baby on the way. Okay, let's take a walk around. How much have you paid this contractor so far?
$27,000 plus.
Here they are, a year. A year, imagine that. Hiring someone, giving them $28,000, and all you've got is crap that's not finished. Let's take a real good look at this. Here's the bathroom. We don't do this. This is our ventilation. They've cut into the stud like this. At least they put up a plate, but I hate that because it's not the proper plate. And that's so nobody can pierce that with a screw. Although a drywall screw will pierce it. It's supposed to let you know there's something there, right? But because they cut the studding like that, there's not a lot within that to be strong. Everything needs to be nailing edges, right? So it's all structures tied in. We wonder why all our corners crack. It's because of slop work just like this. We're venting. We now go up. We go over, and we come back down. You can't do that. What the hell is this? We have bulkheads. Let's run it through the bulkhead. Let's bring it back in. Let's tie it down in low. It's all the things I see. Why are my pipes banging? They're not secured, right? They're not properly secured at all. Electrical, look at this. I just saw this. We have a junction point here. They were gonna hide this because you're gonna drywall this, right? The framing is completely driving me nuts. See the corner there? We're gonna fix that with corner bead? Drywall screws. This is not at all good enough to hold your drywall. I didn't even pull hard on that. Bit by bit, we're gonna see problem after problem arising here. There's one really good point here. They didn't go any further.
And we're worried about the future in terms of our baby and the safety. We want to make sure that the house is ready to be lived in, and then it's okay for her.
For me, it's simple. I'm gonna take it all down. I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna make it right. Clean it up, pull the studs down. We're not gonna wreck the place. Let's cut them out, drill them out, do whatever we do. See if we can reuse them.
No nails at all in this one.
These are the things that drive me nuts. We got a nice wire hanging from the box. It's live. Where does that go? Let's look up in here. Be very careful because everything's live. It's right there. Shut the breaker off. Safety. See this? Copper does not touch steel. Why? Copper and steel do not get along. It's also grounding the house, which now grounds that beam. Everything they did was either wrong, poorly done, or just downright dangerous. And if you open up a wall like the contractor to put in a steel beam, you need to have it approved. Since there's no way I'm trusting any of this guy's work, I called in an engineer to check it out. We did a test hole at this location to determine what type of footing is under this post. He did not like it. So he said, it's got to be done again. So surprised, but it's not a surprise. Did we find anything right in here? No. Did we find lots wrong? Yes. Start studying here. I want you to be at least 1.5 inches, okay? So get your bottom plate in, get your top plate in, stand in your studs, and don't tag them in until you're level. While we were working on that footing, it started to rain, and we discovered a leak in the foundation. There's no way we were going to finish that basement without confirming where the water was coming from. Where do you think the water's? Well, we see a crack right here. That could be one little minor source, not major.
There's another little crack that we found right in this area here as well.
Okay, starting here.
Yeah.
Works its way down. It's obvious because this is where the old pipes came in the wall. Through the mortar, continues, because once it starts cracking on the foundation wall, it usually doesn't stop. We can see it running down, right down to the bottom.
We're gonna pull them both right out of the wall anyways and repair the hole that they put through the wall with these.
If you have a foundation leak or a crack, the only way to fix it properly, honestly, is from the outside. Just think about the work and the cost to tear apart a new, renovated basement because the foundation started to leak again. This is a big company that claims to be professional, that took a year to the point where she's almost having the baby. That's why we're here. That's why we're working day and night to get it done, cleaned up before the baby comes in. After you.
Oh wow.
As you can tell, we fixed up here and painted the walls.
Wow. This looks amazing.
Wow, you just started. I feel good.
Wow.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, this is stunning.
Let's start over here. You know, last time I brought you in, we saw a lot of problems. Okay, we did a few things like moving, broke a whole lot of concrete in the floor, rerouted all your drainage.
You expect, to be honest and have someone tell you what's expected and to have that follow through. And then when that doesn't happen, it kind of destroys any kind of trust you have in others. Even though they're well-intentioned, you look at things a lot differently.
After you.
Oh, wow. This is great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. I thought it was important to turn your bathroom where the window is. Right. It just kind of makes sense to me. So we frosted your windows. You see that? Which means now you can go in there and have a shower.
We would be in a real mess, and I don't know if we could get out of the hole we were in without Mike. It was chaotic, and we're very lucky, very happy.
Yeah. Basements can seem like a place where you can get a lot by spending a little. That couldn't be further from the truth. I've always said, if you want to make it right, spend your money right. You'll end up in a much better place financially and emotionally. And hey, you'll have a nice basement. Did a great job.
You too.
Thanks. Great job.
Thanks, buddy.
Great job. Did you cut your hand?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a team, you know that? It's the team.
For more information about this show, please visit hgtv.ca.